Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're stepping out from behind the closed doors of the admissions office to share something absolutely vital with you. Every single year, millions of high school students log into a platform that's going to ultimately shape their futures, and, well, they treat it like nothing more than a digital filing cabinet. But if you want to understand how Ivy League and top-tier admissions truly work, you have to look way beyond the basic data entry. Today, we're taking an insider's look at mastering the Common App. So, is the Common App really just an online form? Honestly, most applicants think the answer is yes. They type in their name, their grades, list a few activities, attach an essay, and just hit submit. Let me be incredibly clear with you here. Treating this application as mere administrative paperwork is literally one of the biggest, most fatal mistakes you can make in college admissions. Let's dive into what this actually is. It's a strategic storytelling platform. As admissions officers, this is the exact lens through which we view your academic identity, your core values, your leadership, and the impact you're going to have on our campus. Sure, the platform saves you time, but it absolutely does not make college admissions easy. We use this exact tool to separate the ordinary applicants from the truly unforgettable ones. Honestly, I can tell within 60 seconds of reading an application whether a student is just listing out facts or weaving a really compelling narrative. Now, the most highly selective institutions in the world use this platform, but, they all have their own little nuances. Harvard accepts the Common App or the Coalition application. Yale adds QuestBridge to that mix. And Princeton, they demand specific supplemental questions right on top of it. But please do not misunderstand this convenience. Just because the platform is common, your application should never, ever feel common. While top-tier institutions use this shared system, they demand a highly uncommon level of academic strength, intellectual curiosity, and an absolute undeniable fit for their specific campus. So how does this strategic mindset actually translate into a timeline? Well, the best students definitely don't wait for the system to officially open on August 1st. They're starting in the spring of 11th grade, identifying activity gaps and building out their college lists. By summer, they are already drafting essays. When August 1st hits, it's not the starting gun. It's really just the time to finalize strategy, secure those recommendations, and polish supplements for those critical November 1st early deadlines and January regular decision deadlines. They start building their narrative months before that opening bell even rings. Right, let's pull back the curtain on the fatal flaws. These are the literal application-killing mistakes we see in the admissions office every single November. 150, that tiny, tiny number represents the strict character limit for your activity descriptions. That's shorter than an old tweet. You have exactly 150 characters to explain what you did, who benefited, and what actually changed because of your involvement. This proves exactly why every single letter and space has to be ruthlessly strategic. Let me break down the difference between getting overlooked and getting accepted. If you just write, tutored middle school students, you've given me a weak resume bullet that tells me absolutely nothing. But if you write, taught weekly math lessons to 12 low-income middle school students, raised average quiz scores by 18%, you've just delivered a powerful demonstration of measurable impact, leadership, and responsibility, all perfectly packed into that tiny character limit. And then we get to the personal essay. I literally cannot tell you how many thousands of times I've read variations of this exact sentence. I learned to work hard, I became more confident, and I want to help people. Now, these are great values. Truly, they are. But as a personal essay, it's just entirely too generic. It tells me nothing about your unique voice or your individual perspective. It simply blends right in. Listen closely to this one. The strongest essays aren't always about some massive, dramatic, life-altering event or huge tragedy. The 2026-2027 prompts are specifically designed to capture your genuine curiosity. Honestly, sometimes the most compelling essays we read come from a very small, quiet moment, like the precise way a student organizes their toolbox or just a conversation with a stranger on a bus that reveals a profoundly deep way of thinking. Your essay needs to make the reader feel your maturity, your values, and your true, authentic voice. Now we arrive at a massive red flag, the dreaded copy and paste supplemental essay. I want to attend your university because of your excellent professors, diverse community, and strong academic programs. If you write this, you are telling us nothing. That sentence could apply to almost any university in the country. It completely fails to prove why you belong at our specific school. Instead, your supplement needs to be a meticulously researched argument for mutual fit. You've got to connect your specific academic interests to our actual majors. Name real programs, specific professors, and tangible research opportunities. And most importantly, link your past experiences to your future goals, proving exactly how you align with our unique campus culture. Okay, let's talk about recommendation letters. Please, whatever you do, don't fall into the trap of just asking the teacher who gave you an easy A. An easy A doesn't tell a story. A truly strong recommendation comes from a teacher who actually saw you struggle with a difficult concept, someone who intimately knows your work ethic and can specifically speak to your intellectual curiosity and just how much you've grown. It's absolutely vital to understand the distinct roles of your recommenders here. Counselors provide us with the essential school context, the school reports and the transcripts. But your teachers, we don't want them to just repeat your transcript back to us. We want a firsthand account of your creative thought and how you actually interact in the classroom. We need them to reveal something deeper about who you are when you're really wrestling with a complex idea. Another really crucial update for the 2025-2026 application cycle is the newly broadened Challenges and Circumstances section. Now, this space allows you to explain legitimate disruptions that impacted your academic journey, things like serious health issues, family emergencies, or major systemic challenges. But remember, this section is strictly for providing vital context, not for making excuses or just complaining about a single bad grade. Let's rapid fire through a couple final fatal mistakes. First up, using AI. Yes, it generates a perfectly grammatical essay, but it completely strips away the very personality, vulnerability, and humanity we are desperately looking for. Trust me, we can spot it. Second, waiting until October to start writing. A rushed application always sounds generic. A strategic application sounds focused and memorable. If you're aiming for the top 20, you simply cannot rush this process. So we know the pitfalls, but how do the students who actually get those acceptance letters build a winning strategy? Let's pivot here and transition into the actual admissions playbook for success. Well, they follow a pretty specific framework. First, cohesion. You've got to tell one clear, cohesive story. If you're applying as a biology major, your AP classes, your weekend research, your volunteering at the local clinic, and your essays should all point in that one unified direction. Second, focus on depth over quantity. We are far more impressed by 2 to 3 deep, measurable commitments than a random laundry list of 10 different clubs. And third, ensure your authentic voice truly shines in the essays to show us exactly who you are, where your GPA and test scores might fall short. Before you even think about hitting that submit button, a rigorous final review is absolutely non-negotiable. I cannot tell you how fast an applicant gets tossed on the waitlist when they write about how much they can't wait to attend Yale, right in the middle of a Princeton application. Miscalculating your activity hours or leaving in glaring typos can take an otherwise brilliant applicant and make them look completely careless. Your attention to detail is, quite literally, your final test. So a crucial point here is understanding when and how to seek guidance. The true value of a college admissions expert is not as a ghostwriter. They should never, ever write the application for you. Instead, a real expert acts as a strategist. They help identify your absolute strongest experiences, they take your raw materials and structure them so they speak directly to an admissions officer's mindset, and they ensure your entire application delivers one cohesive, incredibly powerful message. Let me leave you with this thought. The Common App isn't just paperwork. It's literally the culmination of 4 years of your life. It is your ultimate opportunity to present your growth, your relentless effort, and your true character. If you treat this platform like a strategy rather than just another chore, you elevate yourself from a totally ordinary applicant to a truly memorable one. Ultimately, when we sit down in those committee rooms and review your file, we're really just looking for the answer to 2 essential questions. What makes you different, and why do you belong here? I want you to deeply consider your answers to those questions before you submit your own application. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I wish you the absolute best of luck in your college journey.